I want you to imagine this. Imagine growing up believing that you are less worthy than others, that you are ugly and you don't fit in because your hair doesn't look like everyone else's, because your teeth are crooked, because your nose reminds someone of Gonzo, because all of your childhood, your siblings were favored and treated better than you, so now you feel less than. That was me until I started to love myself. When I started to love myself, it was amazing how my life got better. It's an amazing feeling to be able to rely on yourself and to trust yourself and to lower or minimize that negative voice in your head that can sometimes keep you stuck. I know you know what I'm talking about. When you love yourself, you show up as a different person, a person who truly cares about your own growth, and you'll be able to establish a sense of self-worth. And when all of this happens, you guys, believe me when I say you will never feel the need to be validated by anyone. Not a boyfriend, not a girlfriend, not a friend, not an amount of followers, no one. Hey, it's Marty, your confidence coach. Today I'm here with my self-love story and why loving myself has been the best damn thing I've ever done. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I am trying to reach more young women to join me and to learn the things that I wish I had known when I was younger. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. Please share with a young lady who can benefit, and let's get right into it. I want you to imagine this. Imagine growing up believing that you are less worthy than others, that you are ugly and you don't fit in because your hair doesn't look like everyone else's, because your teeth are crooked, because your nose reminds someone of Gonzo, because all of your childhood, your siblings were favored and treated better than you, so now you feel less than. You have no room for emotions or to express feelings because there was no space for that in your home. Your parents barely show you what love really is because all they knew was to be authority figures instead of being nurturing, and forget about teaching you any self-love or any type of fundamental skill that would improve your belief in yourself. You don't have any of that. Instead, you carry all that self-doubt and all that lack of confidence and feelings of less than into adulthood. This now negatively affects your relationships, including your friendships and including the relationship with yourself and pretty much everything else in your life. That was me until I started to love myself. All of those things that I just mentioned contributed to my lack of confidence, my very low self-esteem, my inability to show feelings or emotions, not speaking up for myself because how could I? We were not to share our opinions, and if we ever did, they were always shut down, or we were seen as weak and told we were weak. So all of my childhood, I was this shy, timid girl who didn't speak up. I walked around with my head down all the time, and not only because of what was going on at home, but also because of what was going on at school with the mean kids that bullied and made fun of me because of pretty much everything. My curly hair, my big nose, my crooked teeth, that I was poor and didn't have the nicest, most in-style clothes or shoes, which I still don't, by the way, but I can care less about that now. Anyway, no one had ever talked to me about self-love when I was younger. It wasn't until maybe my mid-30s that I started my personal development journey and learned all about it, and it was a game changer for me. It's real, and the sooner you start making loving yourself a priority, ladies, the sooner you are going to start living a better life, because so many things start to change. Everything I talk about here has to do with how you can start living a more fulfilling life, because once I implemented the 5 principles I talk about on this channel, things started to change for me, and I am sure that they will start changing for you. So let me tell you how I began loving myself. The very first thing I remember doing when I was introduced to this concept of personal growth and self-development, it was to first and foremost forgive those who I believed were the cause of me not loving myself, or at this point, literally the cause of why I hated myself and who I was and what I was. And the person that I blamed for this was my dad, because of his lack to show love, and because he treated me different than my brothers, and because he was never compassionate or caring or supportive, just not the loving father figure that I so badly wanted. and I had all this resentment toward him. And what hurt me was that he never cared to change that relationship or change his ways. And then that resentment that I carried around, that turned into anger, and which of course was only hurting me because he was oblivious to it. He's the typical macho man, of the house. If you're at all familiar with that term, machismo, in the Hispanic culture, you'll know that it's a very toxic way of showing masculinity. And I would say that was very present in our home. But I had to let that shit go. I was angry. And it came through in every single one of my relationships, even in my friendships, and everything really. And I didn't like how I felt. So when I finally said, okay, I've had enough and something needs to change, and I started to. And in the middle of me talking to people and researching this personal growth thing, I remember being asked one day, why are you allowing someone else to control how you feel about yourself? Yeah, why was I? So that took me a second. And at this point, know that I was a grown-ass woman living on my own, doing what I wanted to do, but still allowing someone else to control my emotions and my feelings. Someone who was, and like I said earlier, he still is oblivious to the fact that I carried all of this resentment around with me for so long. When I came to this realization, when it finally hit me, I got mad at myself, and I was like, you were so right. Why was I still allowing this man that didn't help me with anything? He didn't pay my bills. He wasn't supportive in any way, shape, or form. He didn't change his ways. So why was I allowing him to control my feelings? Why was I giving this person so much power over me and my feelings? And damn it, I cannot remember for the life of me the person who asked me this question years and years ago. Some of the memories that I have around that are a little blurred. But if you're out there and you remember having this conversation with me over over 10 years ago, please reach out, because I have so much to thank you for. So that was my starting point, ladies. Letting it go. Forgiving him and stop resenting him for not being the dad that I wanted him to be. I can't control him or anyone else for that matter. You can't control anyone. The only thing I can control is me and how I feel and how I want to feel. And I wanted to stop feeling not good enough and less than. I wanted to feel good about who I was. And once you do that, once you stop allowing other people to control how you feel about yourself, especially someone who doesn't support you or who doesn't add any value to your life, then it's a game changer. And it makes room for you to start taking control about how you feel. And that was the next step on my way to loving myself. How did I want to feel? And what did I need to change to make that happen? Because I wanted to feel pretty. I wanted to feel confident in my own skin. I wanted to feel good enough for the good relationships, for the long-lasting relationships. I wanted to feel good, and I wanted to have more in my life. I wanted to stop feeling afraid of putting myself out there and of speaking my mind and going for what I wanted without caring what other people thought about me. I wanted to love my curly hair, not feel flawed. I wanted to overall just feel confident in who I was. That's what I wanted. So from here, a lot of amazing things started to happen for me. And some of those things were, I really started to prioritize my own needs and wants. If I wanted to be happier, I needed to make myself happy. I understood that. It wasn't my dad's job to make me happy in the first place, or anyone else's job for that matter. That's all within my control, and I was going to make it happen. And I also got rid of things that weren't contributing to my happiness or adding value to my life in any way, and that were even toxic. I was able to start setting those standards for myself. And when all of that starts happening, other people will notice. I got the, oh wow, you look different, you're glowing, wow, you look great, wow, you look so confident. Hell yes, I did, because I was doing the work. And actually, that kept me wanting to improve. I was changing my habits. I was inundating myself with everything on how to love myself and be more confident, and changing the way I talk to myself. I became hyper aware of the words that weren't lifting me up, and I picked up new habits like adding more positive, more compassionate words. And I was nicer to myself, because guess what? We have the ability to do that. I started being able to set boundaries. You know those boundaries that everyone talks about? Yeah, I had none back then. But now I say no to things that don't benefit me. I say no to toxic news. I say no to stupid celebrity gossip. I say no to trends that I will never be able to keep up with. I say no to relationships that felt forced or were a waste of my time. No to people who drain me with their drama and constant gossip about other people. I wanted peace, and that's what I started to get. When you love yourself, you only allow things into your life that are going to add value to it, that bring you peace, that opens up possibilities for more improvement in your life, that inspire you and motivate you. And this one is super important, that feel right and good for you. What you allow into your life, it doesn't have to feel right for anyone else but you. And that's really what self-love is. You look out for you without needing validation from anyone. You realize that you have the ability to validate yourself when you really, truly accept yourself. Isn't that beautiful? I think it is. There's more work, obviously, that I had to put in order to get to this point of literal, I can't say it, literal magic, because that's the best way that I can describe it. And if you want to start doing some of that work yourself, because it does take work, ladies, then my free Embrace Your Confidence course is on Udemy, and it has all the details for you. It's my course where I teach you the 5 principles that I had to learn, and self-love is in there. You can simply skip over to the self-love module if you're only interested in that. And after you watch, all I ask is if you can please leave me a review. The link is in the description for you. And for your challenge this week, I am sending you over to my self-love challenge video. It's on the screen for you, or you can click the link in the comment. Thanks for watching, ladies. I want to know if this was helpful for you. Please let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, please be sure to subscribe. And until next time, ladies, go be confident.